All right. Well, we're still dealing with some lower water, not quite as low as it's been. We've had a pretty good norther now. So we're going to be focusing our efforts. We're going to be looking down here in the land cut, right off of this area here. Anywhere through here, we're looking on the west side. What we're going to be doing is throwing live or dead shrimp on the edge of the intercoastal. If you have a trolling motor, you can put your trolling motor in the pilot mode, and you can keep yourself, say, 20 yards off of, 20 yards off of the west bank, out in the center, and you're going to be throwing your live or dead shrimp with like a 1/8 ounce jig head all the way back up onto the drop where it kind of slides off the drop into the deeper water. You're going to be looking for redfish and black drum all through there, and that has been pretty productive. If you come over here and you come through the gutter cut here, the back sides of all these spoils up until you get around to the game warden cabin, which I believe is right in here, um, you will find a lot of speckled trout behind these spoil islands. Depending on whether you have a northeast wind or a southeast wind, how you're going to be going down them. I stay off the islands pretty good, where I'm making super long casts with popping corks all the way up to them. A lot of the islands are rocks, so you want to be very careful through there, but you want to throw almost all the way up to the where you see the black on the outside of the island and pop your corks in there. There's been some real nice trout through there. We have picked up a few reds. The reds seem to be on the oversized side and upper slots all through there. But that seems to be working out pretty well right now with popping corks and shrimp. And of course, back in the land cut on the west side on the bottom, you're going to be looking for those reds and drums in there. Okay, let's talk about this big area of shallow here that is normally known as the Yarborough Flat. All the fish that would be in here are out on these drops right now due to our tide conditions. So depending on your winds, which would either be north or south, you're going to be wanting to set up, of course, a southeast wind. You're going to want to set up coming back this way towards these. You can wade the outside edge of it, or you can kind of go through with a boat. I'm liking throwing bass assassins through there for the trout, and I'm liking throwing the down south lures through there for the redfish. If it's north wind, we're going to be starting up in here and working our way back this way. The same thing, you guys can either wade that bar and throw it out into the deep, or you can go on a boat and just kind of power pole down, drift up 50 yards, power pole down, throwing popping corks and shrimp and or bouncing lures. Seems to be a lot of fish on that outside drop right now, right through there in Yarborough. Some black drums are also behind all these spoils through this backside where you see the little hand going back and forth. So right in there you can find you some black drum with the popping corks and shrimp, probably some reds, and maybe a good trout or two in there also. That area seems to be pretty decent. All the fish that are normally up here on this flat are all on that drop. I'm still using the 16 to 18-inch drop on the popping cork, 4 horseman cork, number 3 kell hook with a live shrimp on the bottom. You could use a 1/16 ounce jig head. That would also work, 1/32 ounce jig head. When I am fishing from the boat, I'm using a little, if I'm throwing lures from the boat, I'm using a little heavier jig head, like a quarter, and I'm throwing those bass assassins and or those down south lures and or power baits way out in front of me, and I'm kind of pop, drop, wait a couple of seconds, pop, drop, wait a couple of seconds, fishing not super fast. But this area seems to have them right now, so we'll move on to the next area. All right, we are going to concentrate in this area here. All right, number one, if you have a heavy wind day, and when I mean heavy, 20 plus miles an hour, only the area in here in Compuertas, all of this is still holding black drums. It has to be windy. It has to be 20 plus to fish that. That is a nasty weather, drizzly, yucky kind of day where you have nothing else to do but power pull down and fish for black drums. I am throwing a 1/2 ounce slide weight on a Carolina rig with a number 3 kell hook and dead shrimp in there. I'm liking the dead shrimp over the live shrimp personally for those black drum. I just it takes them too long to find the live shrimp, and if you'll peel that dead shrimp and throw it out there, they seem to find it and they seem to respond. Moving over here on the eastern drop, all the way around the meadows, the eastern drop has all the redfish. You know why? Because they can't be up here. There's no water there, so they got to be on that drop out here. So on that, I am starting with a southeast wind. I would start this way and just work my way down that drop, throwing, plum and chartreuse, morning glory with yellowtail. I'd be using the down south lures, the bass assassins, H&A Cocoa minnows. It really doesn't matter for reds. You get in front of one, you bounce it right, they're going to eat it. On a southeast wind, of course, on a north wind, of course, we're going to start up here and we're going to work our way back that way. Those reds seem to be anywhere from knee deep to waist deep water, or say butt deep water or crotch deep water, all on this eastern drop. They can't be up here. They got to be there. There's no water left up there. So that area there will be decent enough for you to catch yourself a few redfish. Anyway, till next time, you guys be courteous to each other and catch a lot of fish.